They are terrible crimes, but this story we are going to talk about today is particularly horrific, involving an innocent little girl who crosses the path of a ruthless being, who will change her life with a tragic ending and shock an entire country. In 1996, JonBenét Ramsey was 6 years old and living the life of a fairy godmother. Although at a very young age, she had already been a beauty queen in Virginia, USA. She had a financial well-off family and everyone seemed to live in harmony. She had everything a young girl of her age could wish for. JonBenét was the daughter of John and Patty. At the time, John was the president of a computer services company and a very successful businessman. The family also includes Burke, the couple's eldest son, 3 years JonBenét Sr. Encouraged by her mother, the young girl was fascinated by the world of beauty from an early age. Not only did she pretend to be a mini diva wearing makeup and costumes that gave her a sexualized appearance and highlighted her blonde hair and delicate features, but her mother also entered her in every child beauty pageant in the United States. At such a young age, she was crowned Little Miss Colorado, America's Royal Miss, and National Tiny Miss Beauty. Life was smiling on her. One could almost say that everything was perfect for JonBenét. As you can feel it won't last long. According to press reports at the time, the family visited friends after dinner on December 25th and returned home early because they had to leave Colorado, where they lived to travel to Michigan the following day. But it was after 5 a.m. on Boxing Day 1996 that 911 operators in Boulder, Colorado received a call from a hysterical mother reporting her daughter missing.
She was kidnapped. Someone took her and left a ransom note.
In addition, a letter was found on the second floor of her house, in the stairwell. Handwritten and 3 pages long, it stated that the gang had kidnapped the girl and was demanding a ransom of around $118,000. Remember Patty Ramsey, the mother, who discovered that JonBenét wasn't in her bed at 5 a.m. Why would she get up so early in the morning to go to her daughter's room? Or was she simply a very attentive mother? This would be one of the first questions the investigation would have to answer. Between the call to the police in the morning and noon, more than 9 people were in the house at different times. At noon, the police asked the grieving father, John, to go back and search the house from top to bottom. Previously, he had told police that searching the house was the first thing he did when he learned of JonBenét's disappearance. At the request of the police, John returned to the mansion accompanied only by a family friend. It was then that the terrible discovery was made. In the basement lay the body of the little beauty. She had a rope around her neck, her mouth had been taped shut and her skull had been fractured by a blow. At the time, newspapers reported that the little girl had been sexually abused. This detail was never confirmed. From that moment on, the story broke. The American media took an immediate interest in the case. Coverage was widespread and speculation was rife. Part of the public suspected the family, mostly because of their strange behavior. How was it possible that the crime had been committed in the house and the parents hadn't heard anything? Why did John and Patty refuse to cooperate with the police in the first few months? And why did they so quickly hire 2 teams of flayers and even a PR agent? Of the 2 theories considered by the investigators, neither could be proven. In the first, the killer was in the family, and in the second, an intruder had snuck in through a window and killed the girl in her own home. But a host of theories began to emerge. One theory was that the girl had been killed by her mother, who, tired of her nocturnal incontinence, had accidentally hit and killed her. Another theory is that it was her brother who killed her, in a fit of jealousy at the attention the little girl was receiving. It has also been rumored that the father abused her. If true, this will solve virtually all the problems and explain why the long-suffering parents, John and Patsy, seem genuinely distressed, while their obstruction at the crime scene and other inconsistencies always cast suspicion on them. However, once this point had been reached, public opinion was once again incredulous at the irreproachable social behavior the Ramseys had always maintained, making them the model family in every respect. Good people, good manners, educated, wealthy, and physically attractive. The scene of the parents beating their young daughter to death is unimaginable. However, those who deny the involvement of the inner circle emphasize the information that separates them. This includes genetic material found near the girl's body and a broken glass in the wine cellar that could have been used in break into the house. As speculation ebbed and flowed, global astonishment grew, for as details became known, such as the negligence that prevailed in the investigation from the outset, it was impossible to erase from people's memories the angelic face of the little mademoiselle, whose artistic portraits and grace on various stages became a remarkable addition to news around the world and to the nascent internet. The judicial inquiry was controversial, and the Ramsey family conducted a parallel private investigation, but no smoking gun was ever found, and verdicts came and went. In 1999, a grand jury voted to indict the parents, but prosecutor Alex Hunter decided not to prosecute, citing lack of evidence. Later in 2006, an FBI expert concluded that the profile of the ransom note's author matched that of the mother. 2 years later, the court ruled that the family had no connection with the murder. Of course, there were other suspects. Gary Oliva, a pedophile who had served time and lived near the Ramseys. John Mark Carr, an elementary school teacher in Thailand who claimed to have killed her. Bill Mike Reynolds, a family friend who liked to dress up as Santa Claus and seemed to be close to the girl. Michael Elgos, also in the area, who had a history of sexual assault, but all their profiles were rejected. With the case pending, a new lead emerged a few years ago. A witness claimed that Randy Simmons, a 60-year-old photographer arrested on 15 counts of child pornography, could be responsible. According to various publications, the Border Police Department, BPD, convened a group of outside experts, Colorado Cold Case Review Team, to re-examine the JonBenét Ramsey homicide investigation. The purpose of the review was to make additional investigative recommendations and determine whether updated technology and/or forensic evidence could provide new information or lead to solve the case. The Colorado Cold Case team spent 2022 preparing for this review. The team is made up of professional experts, investigators, and forensic and analytical specialists with expertise in unsolved homicide investigations. An intensive effort was undertaken, with all evidence digitized to create a comprehensive, searchable database containing thousands of information files, bringing together over 21,000 leads, more than 1,000 interviews conducted in 17 states and 2 foreign countries, and samples from over 200 different people, including handwriting, DNA, fingerprints, and shoe prints. The file includes nearly 2,500 exhibits and around 4,400 reports, totaling over 1 million pages documenting the investigation. A new inventory of all the evidence collected has been made available to the investigators. According to them, the evidence has been preserved and will continue to be available for analysis when proven and validated technology enables the accurate analysis of forensic samples consistent with the evidence available in this case. The mother, Patsy, died of her ovarian cancer at the age of 49, 10 years after the murder and before the law could suspect her. Burke is now in his 30s. It was only 5 years ago that he first gave an interview in which he acknowledged that there were suspects. The father, John, is 77. For a time, he had a relationship with the mother of a teenage girl murdered in a high-profile case. Since 2004, he has been in politics and has a new wife. Finally, after years of investigation and millions of dollars spent, the culprit behind the crime of the now funeral JonBenét Ramsey, who found the fame her parents dreamed of, but in the worst possible way, in a country obsessed with children's beauty pageants, has never been found. Thanks for watching and see you next Friday on this same channel. Bye bye!